the Pope priests, the preacher, and judge of the Christian society definitely cannot prove that their Adam and Eve had a marriage license. Did you ever stop to think that the marriage license code is an act of selling women and men back to themselves? The Union Magna Charta marriage license code, unfortunately and unconsciously, caused a white, quote-unquote, white woman to be cut off from the human family, the Moorish nation. In other words, the quote-unquote white woman are supreme social slaves against their will and desire. This has caused them to carry in their mind and heart a secret sorrow and anger, which causes their children to inherit a tendency of crime, hatred, insanity, and various other diseases. Islam, supreme standard of Zodiac marriage law culture. Here are the elements of the signs of the Zodiac and women and men's opposite signs involving the first marriage of the Zodiac law of nature. No preacher and money and license and neither religion is necessary in the standard Zodiac marriage law. In harmony with nature. Aries is fire and Libra is air. 2. Taurus is earth and Scorpio is water. 3. Gemini is air and Sagittarius is fire. 4. Cancer is water and Capricorn is earth. 5. Leo is fire and Aquarius is air. 6. Virgo is earth and Pisces is water. The 1863 Union Bible story of Eve and Adam were founded upon the Moorish Zodiac 12 signs law, the negative and positive forces of nature, female and male, in harmony with nature. 1. Aries is fire and Gemini is air. 2. Leo is fire and Libra is air. 3. Sagittarius is fire and Aquarius is air. Persons born under the opposite signs of the angle signs are in harmony with one another in every manner. Thus, first-hand knowledge of the sign under which you and your mate were born will guide your destiny in peace, progress, and happiness forever. Let us remember that this is not a theory. The Zodiac is the absolute universal standard of marriage and human guidance. Women and men will know their duty toward one another and their children without being forced by the traditional code for the courtroom. Article 6. The one and only universal moral law for unity, peace, and economic and social progress. The Moorish Zodiac Constitution is the only universal unchanged moral law for the human family, for unity, human equality, respect, peace, and economic and social progress. Therefore, every Moor, the Bays and L's, must be guided by this Constitution. Damn. Therefore, every Moor, I swear that doesn't say only members of the Clock of Destiny. These Moors keep saying that stuff is for the members of the Clock of Destiny. Therefore, every Moor, the Bays and L's, must be guided by this Constitution and book Clock of Destiny. Do that which is right by reason and have respect for the quote-unquote white lawmakers and citizens of the Magna Charta Union Society of the 50 states in order to demand respect from them. The quote-unquote white peoples of the Union are guided by their Magna Charta traditions and customs, and the Moors are guided by the Zodiac Constitution law. Nevertheless, their customs and traditions, including themselves, must be respected by the Moors without submitting themselves to any of the Magna Charta customs. That which is termed the Christian law is a rule of action recorded on paper and supported by authority and force. The Zodiac law of nature is recorded in the wisdom of women and men and supported by moral intelligence, the greatest law. Knowledge of Zodiac masonry as shown in this Moorish constitution and also in my book, Clock of Destiny, Volume 1 and 2, will prevent a Moorish American, he or she, from indulging in crime. They then would not have to appear in the courtroom to stand trial. Should a Moorish American who has this Constitution and Book 1 and 2 indulge in crime such as narcotics, robbery, forgery, prostitution, illegal whiskey or alcohol, illegal schemes, gambling, peace-breaking, violence, and disrespect for the law of the city, country, state, and federal, they then have incriminated themselves and therefore will be penalized. This Constitution card and book definitely does not protect criminals. Beware. The Clock of Destiny Moorish American card of identification and Constitution has been registered in the Library of Congress and signed by the author C.M. Bay. A Moorish American cannot be convicted on false accusation framework charges. A Moorish American cannot be convicted on a false accusation frame-up charges. The evidence against a Moorish American must be concrete proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is in our Constitution. You ain't know that? The Moorish nation of 150 million, 1951 of the USA shall not be destroyed for lack of truth and knowledge of the law and constitution of the Moors. Excuse me. Article 7. The Moorish Americans' freedom and legal in the Christian Union courtroom. In the Christian Union courtroom, the Moors cannot be forced to remove their red fez from their heads, nor can they be forced to raise their hand and take an oath over the Christian Bible. Neither can Moors, the Bays and L's, employ white or Negro lawyers to represent them. The reason for this is that white quote-unquote people and their quote-unquote Negro slaves definitely cannot represent free Moorish Americans. What is that? What is he telling you? Right there. He's saying that you shouldn't be in their venues. How are you going to even give testimony over a Christian Bible? You're not going to do that, right? And you're not going to put your hand over the Quran in their venue either. And the fact that they know that this has been registered in the Library of Congress for how long, but then when you still come up in there and you tell them you're a free Moorish American, they're still trying to put their quote-unquote white and their quote-unquote Negro lawyers to represent you, their attorneys. The Negro is the property of the Union slaveholders. Truth. No sugarcoat. The Moors must respect the court by saying, I affirm. Here the court has no jurisdiction over them, which automatically makes them qualified to defend themselves by their Zodiac Constitution law and their mathematical number 9. The number 9 corresponds with the letter I, based on the 9 months from conception to birth, which makes you yourself the great I am, the first and the highest law of self. Protection and self-preservation in harmony with the Zodiac 12 signs, unchanged constitution, moral law of 360 degrees squared by your number 9. The Moor Zodiac Constitution is referred to in Christian mythology as the Holy Quran. What is he telling you? Or Al-Quran, meaning the earth, the moon, the sun, and the 7 planets, or the chronology zodiac record of the Moorish nation of the North Gate, North America. Is this what they talking in the mosque? Are they talking about this in the mosque? The Moorish Zodiac Constitution is referred to in the Christian mythology as the Holy Quran, or the Al-Quran, meaning the earth, the moon, the sun, and the 7 planets of the chronology zodiac record of the Moorish nation of the North Gate, North America. The name Mohammed, prophet, religion, God, church, temple, and mosque were established by the Dutch Anglo-Saxon priesthood Franciscan fathers of North, who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam between 1789 and the Union of 1863. The Moors, the Bays and L's, must never attempt to teach or lecture in the Christian institutions, namely church, temple, mosque, school, and hall. This is a violation of the Union Society States Right Magna Charta Code of Mary in Christ. The truth of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution law and moral human principles definitely conflicts with the Christian Union customs and doctrine of the Magna Charta from every angle, nor do not criticize the quote-unquote white people's belief in the religion of their son and woman image, nor do not ever attempt to influence the white people to accept, quote-unquote white people, to accept the oral truth and principles of your 12-sign zodiac constitutional law, because the Magna Charta is a Latin phrase meaning magnate charta of white people's, quote-unquote, economic and social attraction only, which had its beginning in the colonies of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois in 1848 and 1854. If the lawmakers of the 50 Union States Society of North America should attempt to ignore the Moorish American zodiac law and birthrights of this Constitution, it would be an act of supreme violation of their own Magna Charta Code. Wa alaikum assalam. Now, we about to do this. This is what we about to do. Okay, let's go back over here. Because now it's about to get real serious right now.
Everything else comes secondary. Now listen at this. This is real key. Because a lot of people, through superstition, we was talking about this. A lot of people think people putting curses on them. They understand superstitious thoughts because things are bad happening to them and all this other stuff. Now listen at what they say on this.
Listen closely. When he say listen closely, undivided attention. Okay? Undivided attention.
Whoa. Now discipline. This is the root word of disciple. It's the practice of training people to obey rules for a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. The practice of training people to obey rules for a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Now this is key. We're going to relook at this. Now our bodies are under universal laws. Is a punishment from disobedience. Hear what she said? Inflammation is a punishment through disobedience. As a punishment from disobedience. Hear what she said? Inflammation is a punishment through disobedience. High blood pressure is a punishment from disobedience. Diabetes is a punishment for disobedience. But did God do that to you? You did it to yourself for breaking the rules of the code. Death is a punishment from disobedience. The organism was given all these chances, all these warnings, but they chose not to do it. So death took place. So
disobedience to the light.
Yeah, disobedience of blocking the light. You don't want to come into your true nature. Wow. Oh, did we say that? So the human being is being destroyed from inert energy. That's what energy is closing in on itself. Self-destruction through self-deception. Because the body's talking to you. You can't even blame the people you following no more. When I was with the vegan community, yes, I had improvements on my body from when I was eating meat. But I still had some things going on with my body where I had to move on. I was bold enough to stand up to the order and say, no, I got to move on because this isn't the highest diet. Everybody else said that you got to be obedient to them, and their bodies is hurting. Their main leader is dead at age 74. Peace be upon him. I'm not talking about him, but that's what happened. And he killed himself through disobedience of the light. Oh, we're coming strong now, ain't we? Wow. So that's why you want to be a disciple and gain some discipline, because you learned the rules and the codes that creation is not changing them. It did not make your lungs into a chimney. It ain't changing.
Man, that's deep. So let's go over here. This is chapter 2, by the way, of the Holy Quran. Number 18. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but that through carnal thoughts and words and deeds man tore himself away from Allah, debased himself. Teach that the holy breath would make them one again. Okay, so you got to meditate. You got to breathe. All right. That's it for tonight. Everybody have a good night. Peace and love.